If you are currently experiencing burnout, if you're feeling like you just don't want a life anymore, like every day is Groundhog Day, if you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and just downright stuck, first off, know that you're not alone. And secondly, in this video, I will be providing you with 5 life-changing tips to reclaim your energy and beat burnout forever. So without any further ado, let's get it. So first off, in order to solve a problem, you must define what the problem is. And before we do that, let's talk about what burnout actually is. A little bit of clarity goes a long way, baby. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion, typically caused by prolonged amounts of stress. And burnout is oftentimes characterized by 3 main dimensions. One is exhaustion. Like I said, a lot of people that are struggling with burnout are exhausted. Downright don't want to wake up, don't want to get active. You try to tell them what they should do, they just like, be quiet. I'm gonna go sleep under this rock. I do not want this anymore. I'm gonna go get my Patrick Star on. Secondly, cynicism, which can stem from the exhaustion. Burnout has a wild tendency to start causing you to develop a bad or negative attitude and somewhat of a detached attitude when it comes to work colleagues, and any kind of task that you know you have to get done, but you just downright don't have the energy to do. And the third, reduced efficiency. And basically, that's just feeling incompetent and unable to get your goals done. Like, you may set some goals for the day, but even something as simple as doing a load of towels in your laundry seems unmanageable and just not able to get done. Now, like I said at the beginning, you're not alone. If you are somebody going through burnout, I myself, as a full-time public figure, inspirational influencer, and entertainer, I've experienced it. I have had it hit me like a ton of bricks. And this is the best way that I've found help me get from that low point back up to that high place and space where I've now been for going on a few years now. Now listen, I'm not perfect. Everybody has their moments. So hopefully some of these lessons that I have learned through the process will help one of you out there watching right now. So let's jump back into it. Now that we know what burnout really is, now that we talked about the 3 main dimensions that categorizes burnout, let's jump into a little bit about what causes this for you. Now, first off, nobody is perfect. Nobody is impervious to having a challenging day. So first off, give yourself a little bit of a break. Give yourself a chance to just breathe. Right now, this is you time. This is you and me time right now. So let's go. Oftentimes, a heavy workload is a driving factor behind burnout. Long hours especially, which that was one of the keys for me, was long hours every single day, 7 days a week for months on end, until my body and my brain just physically said, nope, you are comatose for a couple weeks now. And best believe I did just sit around for like a week and a half just questioning everything. And that was both bitter and sweet, which is why it was bittersweet. Another one is lack of control. Another one is poor work life, poor time management, allowing other people to kind of get under your skin. Major life changes as well. Even if you're doing something that is perceived awesome and really good for you, sometimes those major life changes, especially if they're brand new, they introduce new levels, and new levels bring new devils. You know what I mean? New levels create new problems, which develop new solutions, but nobody ever wants to go through a problem in order to grow into a solution. You know what I mean? So major life changes, though very awesome, and kudos to you if you're one of the people out here accomplishing more in life and doing more. This could also be a contributing factor to your burnout. And listen, you may not realize it. You may be going through burnout and not even know, because there's a lot of lingering side effects. You know, it's like before you are about to get really sick, you know, anybody out there watching has ever had the flu or strep throat or whatever it may be, you can always feel those little subtle shifts within you that are like, oof, I don't know. I think I'm going to be really sick. You know what I mean? Like, you could just feel like something in the air is it's just not good, and then before you know it, bam, you're sick, you're out for the count, and you're sipping, OJ, vitamin C, and whatever else it may be. Fatigue, irritability, headache, even insomnia can be a sign. Like when your body is physically tired, but your brain is just always awake, man. That is, like, to me, the definition of burnout right there. Always just feeling drained, but unable to get the rest that you need in order to recharge your battery. Difficulty concentrating, reduced productivity, whereas before you were getting a lot of things done, you were active, you were always go, 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 and now it's like somebody hit the brakes. Loss of motivation is a big one. Granted, motivation is something that just comes and goes, which is why the most successful people in the world will tell you that discipline is what it's all about. Motivation is just a feeling, but it can lead to feeling overwhelmed. And all that stuff combined not only will cause burnout, but like I said at the beginning of this, is going to cause you to even become sick, like physically ill. And it's important to add that burnout isn't actually like a diagnosis. Like, it's not a medical diagnosis. It's more of a syndrome recognized by the World Health Organization. The diagnosis is typically based on the person, it's kind of like self-reporting it, self-classification, whatever you want to call it. Giving yourself your own clinical assessment. You know what I'm saying? But I know what you're thinking, Matty. When are we going to get to these 5 life-changing tips? When are you going to help me? We've only been discussing my burnout, and it's making me feel worse about having my burnout. Well, listen, we are about to dive into it. This is tip number 1 right here. So let's go. Number 1, lifestyle changes. And this is going to come in clutch. You need to learn how to think beyond how you feel. In this tip and all the tips that I'm sharing, you're going to have to think beyond how you feel. You're going to have to force yourself up and to do the necessary things in order for you to break through this burnout wall. So tip number 1, lifestyle changes. And that could be something as simple as waking up a little earlier, starting to eat a little bit healthier, because a lot of times people get addicted to the caffeine, coffees, energy drinks, 5-hour energies, pre-workouts, but they don't drink enough water. And your body just plain old needs water. Like, if you don't get water within a certain time frame, you will go down like a ton of bricks. So start hydrating a lot more. Speaking of, and I know this next one, a lot of people aren't going to want to hear. This is still part of tip 1, exercise. Exercising does not mean that you have to go to the gym every day. Exercising is as simple as doing yoga, taking steps up and down your hallway, taking steps on actual stairs, going out and walking for 10 to 15 minutes a day. It's a little bit more than what you're doing, which is going to get you some results, whereas doing nothing gets you nothing but more of what you don't want. And when that is said and done, you may be just tired enough to put your mind on hold and actually get some rest, which is going to benefit you tremendously. So there's tip number 1. And now on to tip number 2. This one right here is a little taboo. Everyone has their own thought on it, but it could be very helpful. Therapy. Listen, CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, or other forms of psychotherapy, can truly help people that are struggling with burnout, because they help identify and manage the way that you're currently getting triggered, whether it be by work, whether it be by someone cutting you off on the highway, whether it be a laundry list of things. They will help diagnose and navigate you through your triggers so you don't get triggered anymore. Or at least you can develop a coping mechanism and a coping strategy to help you get out of where you are and get back to where you were, or even better, beyond where you were. I don't think anyone should want to go backwards. You always want to go forwards. And if you can aim to be better than you once were at your best, then that right there is just everything. Why wouldn't you want that for yourself? So there it is, tip number 2, therapy. Don't be ashamed about it. It's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. You got this. Now on to tip number 3. This one right here is a beautiful one. Like I had mentioned in tip number 1, we're gonna sprinkle a little in tip number 3 now. Diet and exercise, of course. Hydration, of course. But surrounding yourself with better quality people and also taking in better quality content. Whether that be books that you read, songs that you listen to, meditation, breath work, yoga, things to get you centered. A lot of times we don't realize how much of a negative the negatives are until we take them out of our life and start doing something different. So tip number 3, improve quality. And now tip number 4, communication, baby. That's right, communication. Communication. Communication is key. Communication is one of those things that I always say, nobody will know how you feel until you open up and let people know how you feel. Now, granted, communication can kind of fall under the therapy category. Communicating open and honestly in a non-judgmental place, especially with yourself on why you may feel the way that you feel, it's going to take a lot of work. That work can be very intimidating, especially when you're in a vulnerable place. But it's important to remember that taking these uncomfortable steps will lead you down a road of being more comfortable in your life, as well as breaking through that uncomfortable wall of burnout, which you may currently be facing. Communication. Same with relationships, whether it be friendships or whether it be your lovers. Man, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Communication is key. And now for the 5th and final life-changing tip. And this one right here, man, I don't have a drum roll button, but we're going to do a drum roll. To prevent burnout, on the icing on the proverbial burnout cake, setting realistic goals that you can achieve. And through setting those goals, you can also start managing your time effectively. A goal does not have to be massive to make a massive change in your life. If you ever have the opportunity, read the book Atomic Habits. It will talk all about how little changes create major movement. I always say it is the small steps that climb big mountains. You cannot get to the top of Mount Everest in one giant leap. It takes thousands upon thousands of little steps. So setting those realistic goals, such as waking up at a specific time, immediately getting out of bed and making your bed, rather than going for coffee first thing in the morning, drink a glass or 2 of water, do a little stretching, maybe listen to a self-help meditation or something that's gonna make you embrace the feeling of gratitude and be present in life. And don't forget, take breaks. And when you take those breaks, engage in self-care activities. Do things that make you feel good. Every now and again, we gotta disconnect in order to reconnect on a molecular level with ourselves. Listen, I know that it's difficult, but we gotta understand that we were not created to work. We don't live to work. We work to live. So in doing that, please, 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 please take time for you. You can't pour into someone else's cup if you have nothing to pour into that glass. And to add a little sprinkle on there, set healthy boundaries. Setting healthy boundaries is not for other people, it's for you. You teach people how to respect you. Every single day, whether you know it or not, people treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. So setting healthy boundaries, like I said, is not for someone else, it's for you. So take pride in setting those boundaries with your colleagues, with your friends, with your parents, with anybody that you are in regular contact with. And promote a little bit more positivity in life. Every day that you wake up is a day that you get to create the life that you will never get another chance back to live. You can't even get out of life alive. So in the words of Wayne Dyer, live full, die empty. And on that note, there are your 5 life-changing tips on how to overcome burnout and reclaim your energy. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below your favorite part of it if you'd like. And as always, I'll see you on the next one, baby. This is Matty Pace coming at you live saying one life, one love, I'm out.